Okay, go ahead and roll that camera out there, please. Tell me when you see the red box. Okay, good.
You ready?
Yeah.
Jack Ensch, B-roll, take 5.
This is Blackmagic video only, audio on Blackmagic and the FS7.
Well, this piece of equipment right here is probably one of the most important pieces of equipment in a Navy Ready Room. That's the coffee pot. Because you almost live on black coffee when you're operating out there. And this is an AC-Deucey board. AC-Deucey was a dice game. It's a backgammon in essence, but we call it AC-Deucey in the Navy. And just sit down and relax. This is some of the stuff we help us pass the time when we weren't operating. This is my old coffee cup from 161.
Turn the emblem toward us.
As you can see, it's well used, and we just got it on display here. And this is my old squadron ball cap, VF 161, the Rock Rivers. There's Jack on the back, and that's.
And hold it a second so we can see it for a moment. Just hold it steady there. Yeah, fighter squad.
Fighter Squadron 161.
And now turn it around.
The Rock Rivers.
Point out Jack.
And then we put our names on the back so that you always knew how to get your own hat, because we're not very smart at putting on hats.
And what was the emotional mood when you were playing checkers and waiting for a mission?
Well, it was, you're relaxing. You try not to, it just take your mind off of things. So, have a cup of coffee, sit down, play a game of AC-Deucey, and just relax. The other relaxation we'd have in the evening after operations were over, we'd have a movie shown in a ready room here, and it was 16 millimeter 3-reelers. So that was a way of, because in those days we didn't have, Xbox and all these other fancy things, iPhones and all that. So we made do with, we played cards, movies, AC-Deucey. This kind of thing was kind of our entertainment in those days.
And Jack, tell me, did you ever talk with each other about the possibility of being shot down? By now, there's a lot of guys who had been shot down. Was that part of what you, or were you trying to put that out of your mind? Just talk a little bit about that.
Well, you don't put it in the forefront of your mind, obviously, but yeah, it goes through your mind, especially after, you kind of, there's a bravado about, in the naval aviation fighter community, especially all the communities, but it's kind of the attitude that, hey, it's not going to happen to me, it's going to happen to the other guy. You try to put that bulletproof bravado out there, and but yeah, it crosses your mind. As a matter of fact, going into the 72 cruise, a good friend of mine who was my roommate that year, and we had been in 2 different squadrons together, the F-21 for 2 cruises, and then we were in 161 together. His name's Ollie Milam, another Rio, like me. And I was the assistant operations officer, and he was as a lieutenant, he was the assistant maintenance officer of that cruise. And when we pulled into the Philippines for a couple of days to bring on stores and bombs and everything, getting ready to go to the line for the first line cruise, we had been working on the ship, getting things ready, and we got off, went over to the QBO Club, QB Point O Club there in the Philippines, and had dinner. We were sitting there and had dinner, and we were having a glass of wine afterwards, and we were talking about various things, and his family and my family were very close, almost like, we're almost like brothers. And we got to talking, and one thing led to another, and then there was a big pause in our conversation as we sipped the wine, and one of us said to the other, and I don't know whether I said it to him or he to me, but the words to the effect, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And the other one said, yeah, one of us is not going to come back from this cruise, right? I said, yeah, that's my thoughts too. Because, I ended up having 285 combat missions before I was shot down, and Ollie, of course, he stayed after I was shot down, and he ended up with almost 400 combat cruises. Combat missions, 285 missions and almost 400 missions. So, yeah, the thought passes, crosses your mind, but what you learn to do is compartmentalize. It's what you have to do is you put those thoughts in the lockbox, if you will, inside your brain, and you don't only in moments of I don't know what the word would be, but every once in a while you open the lockbox and look at those things and then lock them back up again. Because if you're thinking about that, you're not going to be able to do your job. You say, oh my God, am I going to get shot? Am I going to shut down? You don't have time to think about that when you're out there doing the mission and getting shot at and shooting back and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it crossed your mind occasionally, and that one particularly with me, I always remember that because both of us paused and we're both thinking the same thing. We both had, I had 3 daughters back home. He had 4 children, and we were all the same ages, and they were growing up together. And Kathy and Charlotte were back home with the kids, and we were out there on the line. And it's just that pause, and we looked at each other and just knew instinctively both of us were thinking the same thing at that time. So it was kind of and sure enough, I drew the short straw, and I didn't come. Well, I came back, but I took a little unaccompanied shore duty first.
Beautiful, Jack. Just
For
wanted to.
cutaways, you should just get a few close-ups
Yeah,
of the table.
and I also want to get that.
Flight jacket.
No, the
Combination lock.
combination lock for
All right,
him.
you just
saying
stay
put
there,
it in the
and
lock
we're just going to do some cutaways here at the table.
I may need you to touch focus for it.
Okay, hang on.
Want me to hold this?
Yeah, if you would.
Let me bring this up all the way.
Okay.
Go foreground there, and we'll just let him go soft. Oops, didn't catch it. There we go.
Okay, just going to truck along to the right. Oops.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna come off it. Oh, I caught myself.
Okay, and truck across to the cap and coffee cup, which we can
You
use
should
as
turn that cap though. Yeah.
and turn the cap. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Great.
And point to put your hand on the side of the coffee maker. Yeah, great. Okay, and take your hand down now. Yeah, good.
Perfect.
All right, good.
Okay, let me get an insert on the
Okay, we're
combination
still
for that
rolling.
lockbox statement.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay. All right.
Great.
Okay, let's do the flight suit. See you in a second.
How are we doing exposure wise?
Should be okay. I boosted a little bit here.
I may need you to touch focus here.
Okay, looks good. So you're gonna go from head to toe or toe to head, something?
I was going to pan across it to begin with.
All right. Yeah, you're still rolling.
Can you get focus on the buckle, the foreground? Let the plane go soft.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's a great image.
Mm-hmm.
Pan back. Okay.
cut.
Got it.